circumstances that had led to their tragic deaths. I thought Trey and I had done exactly what they'd instructed us to do, following the cryptic signs provided to us, doing what we thought their spirits had wanted in order to bring an end to the trick Violet had played. That was precisely what had landed us in such hot water. The wind blew softly, rustling the dry leaves, and my heart leapt at the sound of a car turning at the corner onto my street. I saw immediately, however, that it was a white Cadillac, presumably the one belonging to Dr. Waldbaum, who lived much further down the block. I heard the screen door of my house open behind me, and turned to see my mom stepping outside, holding a coffee mug. "Why don't you come inside? I've got Christmas carols on, and I'm making hot cocoa," she said. My mom had been in a turbocharged parenting mood since picking me up in Dearborn the night before. I usually spent long stretches of the summer with my dad and his girlfriend, Rhonda, in Florida, so the last few weeks that I'd been away at boarding school weren't the longest amount of time we'd ever been apart. But this separation had been particularly hard on both Mom and me, because it had been so abrupt, so unexpected. She had decorated the whole house for the holiday, which was totally unlike her, and I suspected it was mostly for my benefit. She'd saved trimming the tree for my arrival, and I knew it was important to her for me to seem excited about Christmas, even though it was the last thing on my mind. I had realized the previous night, after the long drive home from Michigan, that Trey and I had not been successful in bringing an end to the paranormal curse Violet had put on me and my friends earlier in the school year. She'd let us think we'd been victorious, so that we could be sent away to serve out our punishments while she carried on with her life as the most popular girl at Weeping Willow High School, captain of the varsity pomp and squad, and junior class president. I felt so foolish for having been proud of myself. I'd convinced myself that my miserable time spent wearing an itchy uniform and following strict routines at Dearborn was tolerable, because at least I'd avenged Olivia and Candace's wrongful deaths and saved Mischa's life. But I'd been wrong. I was essentially serving time because I'd been unbelievably stupid. "I'll come in soon, Mom," I assured my mother. "Hun, I don't want you to be disappointed when the Emorys get home," my mom said, cutting right to the chase of why she'd been keeping an eye on me all morning. My mom was no dummy. She was still, underneath all of her Christmas spirit, very cross with me for not confiding in her the reason why Trey and I had gotten into so much trouble in November. To anyone who didn't know the details, it seemed like we were just arbitrarily picking on Violet, the new girl in town. How could I possibly explain to my mom that I'd been stupid enough to play a paranormal game with Violet at Olivia's Sweet 16 birthday party? A game in which Violet had predicted, in horrifically accurate detail, the ways in which two of my friends would soon die. No grown-up was going to believe me, or my friend Mischa, that Violet had the power to bring about Olivia and Candace's deaths. Adults, especially my mom, were going to tell me that I should be ashamed of myself for playing such a childish game in the first place, and for trying to blame my own bad behavior on cherubic-faced Violet. I'd even asked my dad, a psychiatrist, for his opinion on whether or not the game we'd played at the party had the potential to be dangerous, and he'd dismissed the game as a simple phenomenon of hypnosis. "Mary Jane and I have been speaking while you and Trey have been away, and we think it's for the best that you two not spend so much time together while you're home for the break. Maybe this summer we'll feel differently, but for now, it's only been a month since your sentencing. I don't think it's too wise to put yourself in a position to attract Judge Roberts' attention so soon." Everything my mom was saying was fair and valid, but I hadn't put myself in a position of potentially attracting Judge Roberts' attention. Whoever was haunting my bedroom had done so the night before by starting my music boxes as soon as I sat down on my bed to relax. I suspected that my paranormal intruder was the ghost of Olivia, but there was no way to be certain that she was the cause of the disturbance.